Before we had I'm gonna switch to War, because he actually has the special conversations with the Eagles. Specifically one of them, because apparently they took part in the Battle of Five Armies.
Return at last. We grew concerned for you. I fear you have missed your chance to say farewell to the members of the Fellowship, for they have departed. Clearly you found danger in the Etimors, and you have returned safely, and in the company of 3 of the Great Eagles, no less. There is a story behind this, and I am eager to hear it.
They're gone. When did they leave?
They have only just departed. Did you discover something in the Etimors that makes you fear for their safety?
We found trolls and orcs preparing for war, just as we had feared. And they were led by a renegade stone giant.
He made war on the Great Eagles.
But with the help of the eagle Bellerock, we were able to slay him. That was well done. But this is troubling. Why would a stone giant act in this manner? They have never been hostile to freefolk before. We took these tokens from some of our fallen foes.
Some of them bear the Black Raven emblem of Agadar.
Then we can be certain he is behind the giant's descent into evil. But there are also other tokens here I recognize. These are the marks of the orcs of Mount Gundabad, far to the north.
Mount Gundabad? What do you know of that place?
It is a great peak that stands far to the north, at the meeting point of the Misty Mountains and the Grey Mountains. Once Gundabad was a delving of the dwarves, but it was abandoned long ago. It has since become a stronghold of the orcs. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more dangerous location in the whole of the north.
Maybe Agadar is hiding out there, at Gundabad.
It may well be. From Mount Gundabad, the orcs have many tunnels and secret pathways connecting the hidden mines and orc holes of the Misty Mountains. The orcs can move along those routes in great numbers without being seen. Agandaur is raising an army to fight for his master in the north. It is certain he will have traveled to Gundabad. The evidence you have uncovered confirms this to be so. We have no way of knowing if he is there still. Perhaps not. But we must know one way or another. We cannot sit idle waiting for him to begin the war on his terms. To walk into such an orc-infested pit as Mount Gundabad would seem like folly. But you have proven your skill and daring many times over. And too, you have the eagles to aid you. It may be that you will find a way to take the enemy by surprise. It is certain that, were you to destroy Agandaur, you would cut the heart from Sauron's plan to make war in the north.
Then let's get cutting. We're off to Mount Gundabad.
Your courage is commendable, but be certain you are well prepared. Mount Gundabad will not be forgiving of the unwary. Farewell. May the stars shine upon your path.
I like that. He's like, oh, let's get cut. But before we can get cutting, we have to go chatting. Starting with Gimli. Not Gimli. He's gone. His dad. We gotta go talk to his dad.
Well met again, Farin lad. What can I do for you? It's good to have you here, but what's keeping you away from Erebor? I'd leave tomorrow, but Elrond thinks I should stay put. He says that an elder dwarf, old is what he means, such as myself, is too easy a target traveling between here and the mountain. I fear he may be right. It was dangerous enough when we first traveled west. Now the return path is overrun with orcs and goblins and such like. And with my boy Gimli going off with the fellowship, well, here I'll stay for the present. I've collected these gems for the elfsmith Anglir. They look good to me, but your knowledge of precious stones is far greater than mine. Will you take a look at them? My pleasure. I always enjoy handling fine gems. Oh, yes. These are excellent stones. See here, the depth of color. The way they seem to shine with an inner light. In fact, I've a fancy to buy them from you. I never tire of collecting such stones, and I've plenty of coin in my purse. How is the weight of your own purse these days? Your pardon, kinsman, but I don't want to disappoint the elfsmith. A promise is a promise. Ah, well, fair enough. But the offer stands if you change your mind. I am grateful to you, valiant dwarf. Even our high Ares were threatened by the giant Bargrasar. You have my thanks. Were you one of the eagles that came to our aid in the Battle of Five Armies? I was there. I saw the goblins that had stealthily climbed the slopes of the mountain to attack your people from above, and was among those who set upon them and cast them from the cliffs to perish. By my beard, you might be the very eagle that saved me that day. Those blasted goblins were throwing boulders down on us. If so, I am glad. Let all the foul servants of the enemy meet the same fate, and I will be content. You eagles will be a great help to us, that's certain. But I'm curious why you volunteered to join with us. It was enough for me that Balaram wished to join you. But there is also this. One of the eagles the stone giant slew was my own father. You avenged him. And for that act alone, I would bear any of you to the farthest ends of Middle-earth. And though Bargrasar is gone, I still burn with the need for vengeance against the master that sent him against us, Agandal. Your enemy is my enemy. I will not rest until he is brought down. I wouldn't mind knowing a little bit more about your leader, Gwaihir. Gwaihir is the Lord of the Eagles. He can outfly the North Wind, and his word is law. Long ages of the world have passed since ancient Thorondor, first and greatest of Eagle Lords, soared over Middle-earth. But Gwaihir is the mightiest descendant of that line. He is wise and sees much that others miss. We're bound for Mount Gundabad, a long way from the south. Are you ready for such a trip? We are strong and rested. Balaram awaits you whenever you wish to depart. He is our leader in this venture.
And we come over here and speak to Bilbo. He has another question for you.
Welcome back, Farin. I saw you arrive, and I must say, it made for a fine sight. We have something in common now, my friend. We are among the few who can claim to have ridden on the back of an eagle, although I'm sure you enjoyed your journey more than I. Truthfully, I found the whole experience rather terrifying.
Your friends among my kinfolk have often told stories of your adventures with the eagles. but I'd like to hear it from you.
Oh, well, it's a long story, really. There we were, 13 dwarves, one wizard, and one rather frightened hobbit, perched in the treetops, trying to hide from an army of wolves and goblins. They sniffed us out soon enough and set fire to the trees. It would have been the end of us all right there, had the King of the Eagles not led his people to our rescue. I was grateful to be saved, of course, but to this day I still feel a bit dizzy whenever I think about that wild flight.
Oh, I liked flying. The open air, rush of the wind in my beard. Glorious. I can hardly wait for the next time.
I suppose that shouldn't surprise me, coming from one brave enough to fight with giants. Oh yes, I've heard all about your adventures in the Eton Moors. Everyone in Rivendell is talking about it. I've seen stone giants with my own eyes. It's beyond me how you managed to get the better of one.
So, you fought with giants too?
Fought? Oh, heavens, no. It was more like trying my best not to be accidentally trod upon. Frankly, I'm surprised a giant would make war upon us in this way. The ones I encountered seemed caught up in their own affairs and not the least bit concerned with me or my companions.
Agendaur had a hand in turning the giant bad. I've no doubt of that.
Agendaur again. Oh, I don't like hearing about that one. Especially when I think about places like Bree or the Shire. It seems like there is so little to stand in his way.
We stand in his way. We'll find him if we have to search every cave, pit, and ruin in the north. And when we do, he'll get the same thing we gave the giant. You mark my words.
I believe you will find a way to do that, my friend. You have certainly made a good start by thwarting his plans at Fornost and the Eton Moors. You know, someone should be setting down this story of yours. It's certainly worthy of being remembered. I do have my own book to finish, but perhaps when that's done, maybe you should give me an account of your adventures. I'll take notes, and one day I can write your story. What do you say to that?
Bilbo Baggins writing my story? That would be an honor.
Very well, then. Why don't you start at the beginning?
I suppose it all started that day at the Sarn Ford. There we were. And so, with the giant dead and the great eagles joining our cause, we returned here to Rivendell to inform Elrond of all we'd learned.
Outstanding! What a riveting tale! There is enough there to fill a volume or two already. I just hope I managed to get it all straight. I tried to take good notes, and you really must come back later to let me know how it's progressing.
If I get the chance, I'll be sure to do that. Now I'd best be on my way. Farewell.
Farin, it is good to see you safely return to Imladris, and with your head still set safely upon your shoulders.
No one's happier about that than I am, lady. I've a gift for you. The items from the Eton Moors you asked for.
Thank you. You have brought these in good time, for we have made barely enough Miraval for present need, and now there is none to spare. With these supplies, I can replace what has been given away. And as I promised, I have kept aside a flask for you. Miraval is potent. Thus, I would advise you to keep this against a time when you are sorely hurt. Your strength of will falters. Drink of it then, and you will be restored.
My thanks, Lady Arwen. I won't forget your generosity. If you pardon my saying so, you look troubled. Is something bothering you? How can I help?
You have done much already, but I will lay my problem before you. For many years, I have worked secretly upon a banner for Estelle, for Aragorn. It is my hope he will bear it triumphantly into Gondor, when the time is right for him to reclaim his heritage. This must be a banner like no other, and must endure for the ages. To that end, I am using the most precious of metals, mithril,
Mithril. That's a kingly gift indeed. But where outside the mines of Moria could more be found?
It is true. There is nowhere in Middle-earth where Mithril might still be mined other than Moria. Yet in ages past, quantities of this precious metal made their way by trade and gift to many other places in the world.
Aye, there are items of Mithril to be found in the vaults of the Lonely Mountain. They are among the oldest and most treasured heirlooms of my kin.
Still, it seems there is little hope that more Mithril can be found in so short a time. What exists in the world is likely considered too precious to part with.
Who's to say? What you can't have for gold or barter, you can still sometimes wring from the hands of an enemy. It'd be worth it to feel Mithril in my hands, to see its beauty and strength close up. Oh, and for Aragorn's sake, of course. If I do find anything, it will be yours.
That is a noble offer. I would not ask you to go into such danger for this alone, for it may yet prove that I already have all that I require. Still, it would ease my mind, and I would see that you are well rewarded for your courage and generosity. May Elbereth watch over you and keep you safe.
Gundabad awaits us. It was good of Why here to give you leave to help us. It's unusual for the Lord of Eagles to concern himself with us roundabouts.
It is true. Why here thinks first of the safety of his own kind, and he is more likely to take a dangerous task upon himself than to send another. He sees us as observers, watching from high above, but holding aloof from the affairs of the earth. He feels we should bear information, not burdens. Even now, the Wind Lord is considering what part the Great Eagle should play in the events that lie before us, though there may be little time left to ponder such things.
I take it you don't entirely agree with his view of things.
I have served Why here loyally for a long time, and he, in turn, has the wisdom to trust my judgment. He knows that I have chosen the wind I must fly upon, and my choice is this. I can no longer stand apart. I must act. Even an eagle must rest upon an area that has its roots in the earth. We cannot entirely escape the ground, and the fate of elves, men, dwarves, and even hobbits will ultimately be our fate.
It's a fine thing your friends have done offering to help us all. But do you think they really know what they've gotten themselves into? What can you tell me about them?
Armanel is a seasoned warrior. He knows full well what he faces, and accepts it gladly. Baranthor is young, eager to prove himself, but he has deep courage, and few can match his swiftness on the wing. But you need not take my word. Ask them yourself. They will gladly speak with you if you so desire.
It's a terrible, dangerous thing we're asking of you. Maybe we're asking too much.
I believe this is the time when all who care for the fate of Middle-earth must act. From on high, I see many lands and many people beneath my wings. In my own way, I am a steward of the North. In this hour, I will join with those who are bold enough and strong enough to stand against the likes of Agendar. If we fail, there may be nothing left to watch over.
It's a great honor you to us, Balaram. I'll treasure your friendship more than gold or jewels.
It is I who am honored. I am pleased to find such friends in these dark times. You may depend on me to the end, whatever that may be. Call upon me without hesitation. We stand ready to bear you to Gundabad.
What'll be waiting for us at Mount Gundabad?
I can tell you little. The stronghold of Gundabad is carved into a great mountain peak covered in snow and ice. We rarely fly that far north because of the treacherous winds and blizzards that howl from the frozen wastes beyond. It is an ancient abode of enemies, and we must approach it with the greatest caution.
Maybe we've bitten off more than we can chew. What chance do you think we have?
3 alone cannot hope to stand against all the orcs of Gundabad. Only stealth will serve. We must search out a secret way that will not pit you directly against your foes. stir up a hornet's nest such as you cannot imagine. I have seen you three triumph against desperate odds. If you cannot find a way, then no one can. My companions and I will be there to help as best we may, but once you enter the confines of Gundabad, there will be little that we can do.
We'll keep that in mind. Farewell for now.
It is a fine day for flying, don't you think?
Would you be one of the eagles that carried Bilbo and the dwarves to safety during their quest?
I haven't met Bilbo, though I've heard much about him. My father was one of those who carried a dwarf, later fought in the Battle of Five Armies. I was considered too young and inexperienced to take part in the battle. I have much to do if I'm to match my father's fame and valor.
Great eagles are no beasts of burden, Maribor. Are you sure you're willing to keep carrying us?
I am more than willing. I had long begged the Windlord for a chance to prove myself. I don't fear orc, goblin, or troll. Let's return to the air and put fear into the hearts of our enemies. It is a grand adventure.
Is Balaram your kin?
No, but he has always guided me. Balaram taught me tricks of the air and secrets of the wind. We often hunt together. He showed me the fine art of snatching a wild sheep from the side of a mountain, and how to dive upon a wolf and pluck hairs from its tail. Wherever Balaram leads, I will follow.
What can you tell me about Mount Gundabad?
I've never been there, but I know it's a high peak that lies far to the north, on the edge of the frozen wastes, and that it has long been infested with orcs. We do not nest there. When the north wind blows across the wastes, it racks the mountain with blizzards, driven by fierce gales. But I will not be daunted by the north wind.
Welcome. I'm curious about those gemstones we spoke of. Is Glowin confirm that quality?
He has. Here they are.
Ah, excellent. I will put these to good use. And since you have provided me with the materials I need to fashion more elf stones, I would be pleased if you would accept some of my already finished work. Take whichever suits you best.
Well, thank you very much. See what we got here. 1 to 5 times damage versus orcs. Be useful in the next mission. Find more coin times 4. 5 to willpower, 5 to density, and 30 to damage. And 35 for I'm gonna go with the green one. I don't think I can't help it. Yeah. I have nothing to put too.
Hello again.
Alright, I'm gonna pay a visit to the shopkeeper over there, sell some stuff. Buy some potions, and then I'm gonna call it quits for one night. Oh, sorry, I don't have a superpower. 52, 54, 52. You see? Too bad we're not be going against any undead anymore. That would really come in handy in the fight in the barrel downs, but unfortunately, undead again. That would have come in handy when we were in the barrel downs. But unfortunately, the barrel downs are the only place we come across undead. So. Other than the challenge maps. Anyway, I'm gonna call it quits for tonight. And the next time we come back, we'll be playing as the dwarf, and we'll be heading off to Mount Goodbye. But that will be next time. Bye.